Welcome back to our YouTube channel, GossipWire. What if I told you the biggest secret of your favorite reality TV couple is about to explode? Hidden bank accounts, secret transfers, and a courtroom drama juicier than any love and hip-hop reunion. Stick around, because what you're about to hear will change the way you look at Kirk and Rasheeda forever. Alright, buckle up because what I'm going to say will shock you to your core. Imagine that you're playing chess, but your opponent has been removing hidden pieces from the board in plain sight. What if I tell you that Kirk Frost, yes, that Kirk Frost, the reality TV billionaire and forever husband, on paper, has been hiding, not one, not two, but 3 hidden bank accounts stacked Rasheeda has cold, hard cash right under her nose. Guess who just came in with a legal wrecking ball to freeze all of your money? That is right, Rasheeda lawyer, the queen of courtroom drama, dropped a revelation which stunned the entire legal system is gasping. But wait, is this just about money, or is a full-fledged struggle for power, vengeance, and total control? What is the extent of Kirk's secret empire? What does this signify for their acrimonious, headline-grabbing divorce? Stay here because this isn't simply another reality TV scandal. That is a high-stakes financial thriller taking place in real time. And don't believe the receipts. There are reality TV scandals. And then there is this. A controversy that does more than just spill tea. It knocks over the boiling kettle, burns the curtains, and activates the smoke alarm. Our main character is none other than Kirk. I swear that I'm innocent. Frost. For those who are blissfully oblivious. Kirk has been a walking headline generator for years. From inadvertently fathering a child outside, to his marriage on Love and Hip Hop, in addition to strangely forgetting how many zeros are in his bank account. The man's track record is essentially a highlight reel of terrible mistakes. And now, honey, we've arrived at the season finale of his financial soap drama. Let us take a look back. Kirk and Rasheeda were more than simply a couple. They were a brand, a team that sold the dream. Music, business, love, reality television, and romance. But beyond that is a glossy VH1 filter. As well as cracks that are not small enough to be repaired. I'm talking about Grand Canyonizers with whispered stories, late-night phone calls, and mysterious business excursions that somehow it never ended with business being done. As the marriage deteriorated, so did the trust. Rasheeda, the ever-present boss lady, kept her eyes open. Because reality TV has taught us that the cameras stop recording. But the shadiness never fades. Here's where it gets delicious. According to unidentified insiders. My completely dependable source who claims they saw the receipts while repairing a printer at Kirk's workplace. Rasheeda's legal team discovered 3, count them, 3 secret bank accounts. These were more than just under-the-mattress savings accounts. We're talking full-fledged high-security cash vaults with transaction histories that read like a luxury shopping montage. 25 is wired to a consulting firm that shares an address with a high-end shoe retailer. 12. And office expenses that curiously line up with a weekend-long visit at a 5-star Bali resort, and my personal favorite, $14,800 labeled as equipment rental, which, according to my thorough inquiry, was actually for a private yacht party involving a DJ, champagne, fountains, and huge inflatable flamingo, the size of a small apartment. And Rasheeda's lawyer, Kesha McKnight, let me tell you, KESHA. Does not come prepared to lose. Courtroom insiders say she strode in like a Marvel supervillain in heels and dumped the judge placed the evidence folder on his desk and basically ordered, freeze it all immediately. This is when things get wild. The judge did it on the spot. All 3 accounts are more tightly secured than the VIP zone at the Met Gala. Kirk couldn't move a cent. And just when you thought things couldn't get any more exciting, a 4th account emerges, apparently opened by Kirk's cousin. Because nothing says innocent like involving your family in your offshore financial transactions. In the meanwhile, with all of this legal drama building, Kirk's Instagram account looks like a self-help class. Posts on healing and growth and letting go of negativity, encouraging captions for beach photographs, and #new beginnings. Sir, your bank accounts are literally frozen. You can't even have a latte without first consulting your lawyer. This is the type of parallel reality that makes you wonder if Kirk is pulling a long con, or if he is simply lousy at reading the room. See, Kirk has been accused of innovative money management before. Remember Rasheeda's studio fund incident in 2019, when she was supposed to be saving for a new album and then poof, $160,000 vanished. Only for Kirk to subsequently share images from a boys' trip in Dubai. Or the merchandise warehouse mystery, where boxers of unique merchandise were supposedly lost after delivery but were eventually sold in a pop-up shop in Miami. Yes, we have been. I have been here before, but now the stakes are higher. The receipts are thicker. And the public is watching like it's the Super Bowl. A bowl of disorganized divorces. I was able to communicate with a Socoletta buddy of a friend who was intimately involved in the incident. Here's what they purportedly told me. Kirk has been shifting money around for several months. First, he said it was for business emergencies. Then came investments. The next thing we know, he's purchasing expensive baggage in bulk. Talking about constructing a home studio aboard a yacht. Rasheeda was certain to find out eventually. If it isn't the most outrageous reality TV villain story you've heard. I don't know what is. And then, as if the controversy required it, more fuel was added. Carly Red appears in the courtroom like a plot twist. Noon could see it coming. She has her own stack of evidence, screenshots, receipts, and apparently images of Kirk handing he gave real wads of cash to someone who was not his wife. The drama level is off the charts. The judge, let's just say he had the exact grimace you make when you notice your Uber driver is taking the picturesque path, and your bill has now doubled. By this stage, the divorce proceedings are beginning to feel less similar to a legal separation but more akin to a hostile corporate acquisition. Assets freeze, evidence piles up, surprise witnesses, and social media is consuming it like free samples. Costco's hashtags are flying. Bank account gate hash freezite, just as Frost hash Rasheeda retribution. Every gossip blog, every Twitter thread, every cluttered the meme account is publishing insights as if they are all Wall Street insiders. And this is where we leave it. Chapter, Kirk's assets have been blocked. Rasheeda's legal team is on fire, and the court looks like a daytime drama set. But you think this is the end, darling summer child. This is simply the first act, because what occurs next brings in more actors, money, and salacious whispers than this courtroom has ever seen. And the next twist is a big one. The courtroom chatter lingered in the air like the odor of burned popcorn. Strong, a little bitter, and impossible to avoid. Kirk sat there stone-faced, like a man preparing for an Oscar in the category of innocence, unless proven guilty. Instagram official. Rasheeda, on the other hand, had that placid yet lethal expression. Only a woman who has been silently saving receipts for years can donate. But here's where things moved from delicious reality television to the Netflix conspiracy documentary. Gable was still warm from freezing those accounts while the judges were present. Rasheeda's lawyer received a suspicious envelope. There is no return address or sender's name. Only a thick package of documents and a handwritten note reading, "Follow the trail. It's deeper than you believe. I promise to you, this isn't a story twist you could make up. Except, we are completely manufacturing it. Up because it's the most fun." Photocopies of bank statements from abroad accounts were included in the packet. We're talking Cayman Islands, Luxembourg, and, interestingly enough, a bank in a tiny fishing community in Iceland, which according to a Google search has a population of 412 individuals and one suspiciously huge financial institution. The sum is astonishing. Transfers totaling hundreds of thousands. Notes in the memo lines, such as consultation fee and event supplies, which sounds innocent until the dates coincide perfectly with luxury automobile purchases, apartment rentals, and, oh yeah, a 3-day private concert supposedly featuring Drake's cousin's DJ. Some of the transactions looked to have been signed by an alias. Hey Franklin, I am not sure about you, but when you start coming up with new aliases to shift your money, we've fully entered Bond villain territory with a reality TV deal. Of course, the disclosures did not stop there. Anonymous emails began appearing on gossip blogs, each claiming to have inside information. One communication rife with drama claimed that Kirk had been funneling money through a luxury pet, a grooming business that does not exist. Another stated he once spent $10,000 in cash to have a personal chef prepare a single meal of gold-dusted lobster tacos on a Miami rooftop. And if you thought the internet would take this softly, oh no. Twitter transformed into a full-fledged criminal lab. People were zooming in on Kirk's Instagram postings. It's a backstage pass. And guess what? On the same weekend, there is a $14,500 withdrawal from one of his hidden accounts. Coincidence? Coincidence? 2. Guess not. While all this armchair detective work was going on online, Rasheeda's legal team was apparently preparing for a full-scale forensic audit. If you don't know what that is, Imagine a team of financial bloodhounds sniffing out every single dollar. Kirk has been touched in the last decade. Every transaction, account, and loan to a friend is scrutinized. However, the general public was not the only one paying attention. Rumors suggest that state tax authorities have taken uninterest because when someone begins transferring this much money in questionable ways, it's not just your ex who wants answers. People make laws, and if you've ever witnessed a tax investigator on a mission, you know they're scarier than any reality TV reunion episode. Now for the part that really made my jaw drop. There is word on the street. And by according to an unknown source who is not a Buckhead bartender, Kirk did not simply hide money. He apparently utilized part of it to start a side business under someone else's identity. That's someone else, a former background dancer from a Rasheeda music video, who simply happened to be sighted with Kirk at many networking dinners. Over the past year, coincidence? Sure, I'm the Queen of England. A cryptic voice note emerged online, escalating the controversy. A man who sounds eerily similar to Kirk is heard stating, "Just move it to the other account. She won't know. By the time she figures it out, it will be in my cousin's name." Of course, Kirk's team disputed it. Labeled it I produced defamation. Which might be plausible if the background of the audio didn't also someone laughing precisely like Carly Red. Come on now, the people has an insatiable taste for this catastrophe. Every morning, blogs provided new exclusive updates. TikTok creators were recreating courtroom moments, memes that compare Kirk to cartoon villains. Instagram was overwhelmed. In one meme, he was photoshopped as Scrooge McDuck swimming in a vault of gold coins. Instead of coins, there were stacks of cash, labeled Hidden Account 3, and just when it appeared like the circus couldn't grow any louder, Rasheeda dropped her own bomb. She went live on Instagram, and Sachi appeared to be in her boutique office, clutching a folder labeled Receipts. She did not say much, glanced into the camera, smiled, and said, "It's not about vengeance, it's about justice. And when you play games with someone's life work, you're going to lose." The internet lost within minutes. The entire group had come to an agreement. #Justice for Rasheed. It trended among fans, threatening to boycott any businesses associated with Kirk. Celebrities joined in. One, the rapper, tweeted, "Never hide money from a boss chick. She will find it." However, this is the chapter's wildest twist. Right when public criticism was hitting its pinnacle, Kirk supposedly attempted to reach an agreement with Rasheeda to keep some of the accounts confidential. An inside source alleges she was given a lump sum compensation in the mid-six figures in exchange for waiving certain claims. And guess what? Rasheeda's supporters allegedly laughed him out of the room. That could sound like the end of a really awful week for Kirk, but, my friends, we're only warming up because of those released documents. They hinted that connections that go well beyond personal turmoil. We're talking about probable shell corporations, and untraceable wire payments, and, wait for it, a name that directly refers to a well-known Atlanta club owner with a history of controversy. See, pulling on a loose thread like this causes the entire sweater to unravel. And the following section of this saga is no longer simply about Kirk and Rasheeda. Oh no, we're entering into terrain where friends become witnesses, business partners become liabilities, and people you thought were minor characters suddenly take center stage. And the trouble with coming into the spotlight. Every flaw, every untruth, every sleazy dollar you believed was the buried is lit up for everybody to see. That implies that when we pick up next, and believe me, you'll need popcorn for this. The members of Kirk's inner circle are set to start discussing, and some of them have stories. This makes secret bank accounts look like pocket change. The whispers began as soon as the first witness list was leaked, and, oh sweetheart, the names on that list were as messy as a chef kiss. We're talking about ex-friends and old employees, business partners, and that one relative who everyone in Atlanta says is just a DJ but drives a Bentley and never works a day in his life. First on the stand, symbolically for now, was a former assistant who, in a completely unrelated Instagram rage, said Shay was tired of covering for folks who believe that hiding money is a personality feature. She didn't drop names, but claimed she may as well have tagged him. Overnight, her followers doubled. Coincidence? Not in this lifetime. Then followed the sensational interview. An ex-business associate sat down with a suspicious between sips of iced coffee. Kirk nonchalantly revealed on the YouTube news channel that he had boasted about having enough concealed money to go to Bali tomorrow and never return. Is it possible that this person merely wanted attention? Yes, but in a public court, let us be honest. This trial is all about opinion. It was like dropping a grenade into the center of the room. Meanwhile, the suspect accounts are being investigated. It was growing quicker than a rapper's after-party tab? The forensic accountants didn't only find more money, they were discovering patterns. Same banks, wire transfer notes, and deposit large amounts, remove smaller amounts, rinse, and repeat. It was like witnessing a money laundering seminar. YouTube, except this was the claimed real-life version. And just when Kirk thought perhaps the heat might die, the feds allegedly started poking around. Now, I'm not claiming there's an active federal investigation. However, there have been meetings regarding certain individuals with questionable financial backgrounds, and if you know anything about the alphabet agencies, when they start you're not sleeping well at night. The press detected a stench of blood. TM-style blogs were camping outside his known hangouts. Paparazzi, or at least 2 guys with iPhones, pursued him into his car after a so-called private dinner, asking questions such, "Where's the Iceland money? And did you buy Drake's cousin a boat?" The footage hit TikTok in under an hour, complete with captions like, "When you're running from your accountant." Rasheeda, on the other hand, was playing the long game, with no messy outbursts or angry interviews, just letting the leaks. She shared a cryptic Instagram story showing a chessboard with the remark, "Checkmate is on its way." You could almost hear the internet explode. Then came the ultimate twist, according to another unexplained report. At this sits as if Kirk's life is a faucet with no plumber in sight. There's evidence that one of his secret accounts wasn't even for him. It was allegedly used to hide money for someone else. And someone else, a well-connected Atlanta club owner, who, if you believe the street gossip, has been linked to more than one questionable Kirk had a business deal in the past, which sparked conspiracy rumors. Middleman in a wider operation. Was this all about keeping money off the books for someone higher up the food chain? Or was he simply overconfident in his ability to handle both personal crisis and clandestine business? Reddit discussions using flowcharts, arrows, and grainy screenshots connected everyone from reality stars to local officials. And one post even claimed there was a secret Kirk's cooperation with a boutique investment firm that mysteriously owns oceanfront property in Belize. Is there any easeless confirmed? Of course not, but when has confirmation ever been as if things weren't bad enough? Another blow was dealt. An expensive SUV connected to one of Kirk's fake firms was confiscated in a tax lien when photographs of the vehicle being towed surfaced, replete with Kirk's personalized plates. They were meme fuel for days. Behind the scenes, people are Kirk's circle was reportedly flipping quickly than pancakes at a Waffle House. Associates who had been silent for years were now recalling old conversations. Ex-employees were producing backup copies of invoices, contracts, and payment records. And you could tell the prosecutors were sitting back, saying, "Thank you for doing our work for us." Let's be honest, controversies like this are never just about money, it's about power. And if there's one thing power despises, it's exposure. The instant people learned Kirk was the network of accounts might implicate other important names. The tension ratcheted up to a level you could cut with a credit card. And they were all publicly denying, privately. You can bet they were making calls, erasing texts, and hiring lawyers who bill higher fees. Despite the fact that he was under a lot of strain, Kirk was still out there, earning more each hour than most people do in a week. He made a few public appearances, just enough to create the impression that he was not hiding. One night, he was sighted in a lounge laughing with pals, as if nothing was wrong. 2 hours later, the same bar was viral because someone uploaded a hazy video of him taking an extremely serious phone conversation outdoors. The caption planned the next transfer, and then the breaking point court files public record. Baby revealed that Rasheeda's team had legally subpoenaed not just Kirk's bank records but also contacts between him and 3 other known over the last 5 years. Associates have used SMS, emails, and even DMs. Let's take a moment to grasp the extreme dread that someone who has made questionable judgments their entire life must be experiencing. As news of the subpoena circulated, the internet deemed it the final season, with TikTok edits set to memes, depicted Kirk's phone melting in his palm, and the #unblocked accounts trended for 48 hours straight, leaving us with a man. His whole public persona is disintegrating, under the pressure of leaked documents, shady connections, and a soon-to-be televised court battle with a woman woe's quiet and methodical. He dismantled every defense he felt he had, and, with the city, possibly even a country gripped to every update as if it was the season finale of the most popular reality show years have passed. Because, make no mistakes, Whether you love or detest them, I just can't turn away. The saga is more rather than gossip today. It's about trust, betrayal, and the nasty repercussions when the kingdom you created in the shadows becomes dragged into the light. So here's the kicker. If the murmurs are true, then this isn't even the biggest secret they are hiding in such accounts. However, that is myth, friends. That's a story for another video. There you have it. What sort of scandal you couldn't make up, even if tried. We are talking about hidden banks, accounts, suspicious transfers, and whisper spantings, and the type of subpoena that causes mature men to sweat their throats before signing suits. But here is the million-dollar question. Is this only the tip of, or are we staring at a full-fledged Titanic moment for Kirk Empire? Just think about it. What if a large amount of dirt has already floated to the surface? Picture what's still locked, stored in such files, DMs, improper account transfers. And let's people like Kirk deserve to be honest. They don't only have one skeleton in the closet. They have a complete graveyard in there, includes a VIP section. So what do you suppose is hidden in these accounts? Offshore investments, secret properties, a slush fund, business excursions that simply happen to land every other month. We spend time in the Bahamas. Leave your wildest theories in the comments. Because honestly, some of you internet detectives are superior than the real investigators. Don't even thinking about leaving without hitting that like button. It's free. Unlike Kirk's legal fees. Subscribe if you want the truth updates as soon as they are released, because we already know that this will not end anytime soon. And turn on thousands notifications, because the next leak hits, you'll want to be the first. I knew I'd be. One person wrote in the comments. Until then, be curious and stay wary. And remember, in this game of secrets and falsehoods, receipts always win. In What If I Told You the biggest secret of your favorite reality TV couple is about to explode? Hidden bank accounts, secret transfers, and a courtroom drama juicier than any Love and Hip Hop reunion. Stick around, because what you're about to hear will change the way you look at Kirk and Rasheeda forever.